Welcome to the Flex Forward podcast, where grit meets growth. With your host, Nic Espanet, bringing you stories of resilience, reinvention, and the real climb to success.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. Today, we're joined by Nicholas Nelson. Nicholas is a VP of the research firm at his college. I'm going to let Nicholas give you a little more information about what he does there. But Nicholas, welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. So glad to have you. Can you let our listeners know a little bit more about you and about what it is you do as the vice president of the college research firm?
Yes. So my name is Nicholas Nelson. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I actually had started out my career in public health research. I was the public health educator for the Men's Health Bureau back in St. Louis. I worked in that position for about 3 years, and I pretty much wanted to transition into more of a technical field in order to create more impact through technology, helping community as I was already doing in public health. So that's why I decided to kind of switch my role to the college research realm at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And I've been here for about a year now, conducting research in a lab that focuses on aging and technology. So one of the main things that we've been able to accomplish is getting a resource base of older adults age 65 and older, being able to set them up with our research team who reads them very calculated and scripted questions to get their life experience, what their difficulties have been with the disabilities that they've acquired. The main three ones that we cover are hearing, mobility, and vision. And what we do is we get these life experiences from these people in order to gauge how they're living in their day-to-day lives. What are the biggest challenges that they face? What are things that they feel could be better within the healthcare system and the resource that they have available in order to get them through their day-to-day lives? And then lastly, what impact do they believe technology could make on their life? With us living in a very technical age and technology and things of that nature rapidly advancing about our eyes, I believe that focusing on the shift that we're seeing now and learning how to utilize it for human factors purposes when it comes to developing those who carried, the torch for creating society and things in the past, and then those who are coming up being introduced to this new way of life that's going to pretty much take over all of our lives here pretty soon.
Yeah. So and helping the seniors adapt to that more, it sounds like, is
exactly
something great. Well, in your space and the research and public health, there's a lot of competition. What's something that you feel has set you apart over others that may be taking the same journey?
Really just being always open to learn, grow, not afraid to ask questions, taking opportunities that others might not want or think are important has really set me apart. Like I've always been a big advocate of putting myself out there and being able to do different jobs and create different environments and attend different functions that most people might not be able or understanding of, just because I believe that one thing that's helped me is always opening my horizon to different pieces of information, new challenges that may arise, and just always being willing to adapt and not necessarily complain about how things are. Because in the public health realm, especially, it was a very funding based career. It was really based on like the funding that was available. So if there wasn't as much funding available for certain initiatives that we wanted to do, then it would kind of limit our workflow. So me seeing this, I kind of wanted to transition to a path where I can have complete control over the work that I do, kind of write my own story in a way without having to directly be dependent on specific funding. So being able to adapt to how the world was transitioning with the work that I initially got in and kind of how it's headed now has probably been my biggest strength, is just always being willing to adapt and not necessarily complaining about, the changes, just utilizing the ability to take on the skills that require high performance at the next
Well,
level.
what a great skill, and everybody did. Hopefully, everybody caught that. As he looked at what was on the horizon for his career, and rather than complain about it, he said, "It sounds. Tell me if I'm wrong. You looked at other options and opportunities. Said, hey, I'm going to try one of these some other options. Whereas some people are like, oh, this stinks. Things aren't going my way, and just kind of stay in the same path. But you saw some things changing, and you pivoted. And I think it's important to observe what's going on in the world or your career or day-to-day life. If things you sit and you can sit and complain about them, or you can take some action. And Nicholas, sounds like you took action to have better options. So I commend you for that. That's awesome.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Is there something that you find that comes easy to you, maybe others find a little more challenging?
For me, I would say one thing is just understanding and interpreting information in a very short period of time. I feel like that's always been something that I've done a lot better, is being able to catch on to things quite quickly, and then also being able to apply the information to different scenarios. So say if I was given a lesson or taught a piece of advice or a technical aspect of one of the things that's necessary for me to provide value to whatever situation I'm in, I've always been able to take those skills and maybe adjust them to what's needed in the given situation, and then apply them to different areas of my life.
Yeah, good stuff. And everybody who are listening, that's great things to learn from, is just pivoting and observing and then applying them. So if someone's listening and wants to get better at doing something, you have any recommendations, a book or a podcast, something that maybe you've done that's helped you?
Yeah. So I would say just reading different books, developing yourself, learning yourself, because I feel like learning who you are and how you respond to certain stimuli or certain situations is a big key into seeing, what makes you most comfortable, what you need to do in order to improve long term. So one of the books that I had read that really gave me a great perspective was the psycho cybernetics
Oh yeah, I've
book.
got
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not exactly sure the entire title, but it was a book that was gifted to me by a close friend. And
I've read that. It's back there somewhere.
yeah, it's a really good book when it comes to just getting perspective on how things work, as far as the energy you put in, your
Mm-hmm.
self-image, your ability to have belief in yourself, and how that translates to how you perform in different situations. So I would say that definitely gave me a lot of good perspective. And then also just having different mentors that I've been able to learn a lot from, go to different conferences and be around people who think big, just different things like that.
Yeah.
Because also I would recommend like the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, that also,
I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. I'll have to put that one on my list of
yes.
thinking big.
Yeah, that book
Awesome.
right there, it definitely gives you perspective to like the things you believe you can achieve are really your limitations. And if you're able to expand your horizon and not limit yourself to what may be in front of you, then you'll be able to accomplish anything that you
Yeah.
set up your mind to, essentially.
Great, great stuff. Well, congratulations. Sounds like things are going well and you're moving along well. And a lot of people, as they get further along and you start have a good career, entrepreneurship, or they're a busy executive, start thinking of other ways to also invest and make potential alternative investments and things like that. Is that something you've given any thought to, about getting, maybe investing in something that doesn't take your time, but you can put money in and it still grows?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I've actually been able to connect with different people and organizations that focus on this aspect of investing because I really wasn't too into the investing space. I guess growing up, like I always kind of heard about, if you have a 9 to 5 job, like put money away in your 401k, or just save money in a bank account for a rainy day. Always have this amount prepared just in case something may go left. So those tips I had been aware of, but recently I was able to get information basically about being able to put money into the market and leveraging it within the direction of how the market goes. And it's actually something that I've been very interested in outside of what I do for my current research purposes. Just understanding like how money moves in the market. What is my money doing when I invested in certain funds, whether it be ETFs or, Roth IRAs, or just different things that most people are told to invest in but don't really necessarily have a large understanding of what it's actually doing, and just probably taking back a layer of, I guess, what that is to understand like how my money is actually performing when I
Yeah.
invested in these things that I've been told.
Yeah, good stuff. One is keeping an eye on it and knowing, a lot of folks just get in that 9 to 5 job and keep pumping money in their 401k, but don't ever really pay any attention to it. So it's great that you're keeping up with it and watching things. So, as we're wrapping up the interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have in the works over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're currently working on that we plan on having done by the beginning of August is I'm taking part in an initiative with a neighboring college from the university that I'm working with to develop an EDU EMR system. So that's an electronic medical record system for educational purposes that allows different disciplines within the medical education field to interact in a educational setting that will prepare them for how medical record systems are developed in actual hospitals. So one of the main gaps that students may face is that when they're analyzing their records, they might not know how the other departments. So say if you're in respiratory therapy, but you have to be able to pull up patient data from that was only connected or collected from the nursing department, you might not have a system within your infrastructure that allows you to take patient records from different departments. So when they come into your department, that just wastes a load of time. The patient might not have access. And then it's also inconveniencing the patient because they don't necessarily want to have to pull out their information every single time they visit hospital departments. So what we're doing is we're starting the process of trying to build a system that integrates all of these different departments with having patient records available so that it will just create a more efficient flow, not only within the educational space in which this is being piloted, but eventually this can transition to a more mainstream method of data collection throughout departments so that they're able to move more efficiently and a lot more calculated based on the patient's behalf. Because if you're going off of what 10 different people say, but they all don't have the same set of information, then it's going to be a case where things get lost, and that's when mistakes can occur.
Yeah.
So,
The decision making, everybody's making decisions from different points of view or perspectives. You want to get them all on the same page, right?
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Nicholas, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to share some of the insights and tips with me and my listeners. If people would like to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, the best way is you can go on my LinkedIn. My name is just Nic Nelson, Nick Nelson. You can reach me by email, Nick E. Nelson 3@gmail.com, or just if you're on social media, you can follow me on Instagram. It's NICK up next. _3. And then you could reach out if you have any questions about any of the things that I discuss, or if you were just willing to reach out and discuss something completely unrelated. That's perfectly fine. I'm open to connecting, and I appreciate you for having me on.
Hey, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for jumping on today. And everybody, thank you for listening to the Flex Forward podcast. Be sure to like and share this episode and pass it along and share it with your friends. And Nick, thank you so much for joining. I really enjoyed getting to know you and chatting with you. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks for listening to the Flex Forward podcast. If you've got grit, growth, and a great story, visit flexforwardpodcast.com /guest to apply and join us on the show.